You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody to Sim Racing Media, home again to SCL competition. This time they're in the late model stock cars and they are at Indianapolis Raceway Park or Lucas Oil Stadium, depending on what you want to call it, affectionately known as IRP. I am Mike Demoni, up in the booth once again, joined with me as always Zach Woods. Zach, man, how is it going, bud?
It's going really, really good right now, Mike. Really excited to see these drivers take on IRP. If you are paying attention in the real life arenas of racing, you just know the truck series just got done racing here, and it's a bit of a bull ring. There's not a lot of places to hide, so really excited to see this field attack this racetrack.
Yeah, we've seen these guys go to all sorts of tracks, put on shows here and there. We'll see how they're able to handle IRP tonight, as it looks like Isaac Love is going to start us off here. Looks like he's the first one to get to that qualifying lap. See what he can do as he comes down the backstretch. It is a relatively flat track, so you don't have that banking, so it is pretty easy to carry a little too much speed in and slide around, as it looks like we have two rookies right now battling for the top spot, as Austin Call just says, nope, not today. He jumps up to a 22.67. Josh Flynn, 22.70. Ollie Marston 22.72, Greg Birch 22.73, Michael Rinker 22.75. These guys are like right on top of each other, the top 7. Chad Jones coming through. I mean, man,
it's really close. I mean, with a track this size, it's going to be fairly close throughout the whole field. I'm really excited for it. It does produce a lot of good racing. That doesn't necessarily mean the drivers out here are going to be close to one another, right? We're going to see the more experienced short track racers really run away here, and it's because you mentioned it, Mike. The track isn't banked nearly at all, so it does take quite a bit of skill to get around here.
Yeah, it definitely does. Looking at last week's winner, Michael Rinker was able to bring home the victory. He's currently sitting in P7 at the moment. Jump around here, see who else is on track. Jonathan Casebear was good enough for second. Justin Lewis for third last week when they were... Where were they? They were at Myrtle Beach Speedway. So another track kind of similar to this. That flat, old school oval. We've got points leader Barrett Flo. I didn't see him on track here. Isaac Love is in second. 1 point separates the top 2. Colin Murphy back in third with 93 points. So 93 to 96. Justin Lewis isn't out of it either. We have yet to have a 2-time winner in this series either.
Yeah, certainly a lot of parity in this series, which makes things really exciting, right? You don't really know where the winner's going to come from, so it's definitely a different show every week.
Yeah, definitely.
Helps us in the booth too.
Yeah, it makes it. Oh, as Jack McKee gets into that outside wall, Adam Lowe puts in a 22.71. Looks like the top 3 are pretty close. Colin Murphy, Austin Call, Justin Lewis, all within a tenth of a second, and then you kind of go back a couple more hundredths there, and I mean even the gap back to what 10th is not that far out of it as far as lap times go. So we'll see how this all works out as Josh Terry Hill is making his first run here.
Yeah, Boss Man always wants to put on a good show, so really excited to see what he's able to do tonight.
See how that lap time works as he rolls through 3 and 4 here.
Got to be careful not to hit the wall. You don't want to scrape it or your lap will become invalid. Taking a look here on the charts, he's up to 12th. So not a bad little effort here from Josh Terry Hill in that 8 machine.
Definitely not. And the other thing we have to remember when you're talking about these LMSCs is in this series, you don't want to be the fastest on track for your qualifying run. They invert that top 5.
I can't believe I missed that. That's like my thing. I talk about that all the time. But yeah, go ahead, Mike.
So you actually want to be 5th, and 5th today is Adam Lowe. So Colin Murphy was the fastest car on track, but that did not get him the provisional, I'll call it pole, because they invert that top 5. So Adam Lowe winds up getting the pole, even though he started or had the 5th fastest lap time.
Yeah, and it does make for some interesting racing, right? We see up here on the charts right now, it says Adam Lowe is first, but then you can take a look at the times, and it's a little weird. You have plus then minus 0.012 to Josh Flynn, and that's because the first 5 are inverted. So you can take a look here and see where your favorite driver lands. It'll be Adam Lowe and Josh Flynn to his outside to start tonight's race in the 23 machine. Justin Lewis, the guy who's been on a tear here as of late, looking to cap off a strong run. He's got that sweet spot, Mike, starting third tonight. You qualify third, you're guaranteed to start third. So I like where Lewis is starting tonight. Austin Call in the 18 is going to roll off fourth. Colin Murphy will roll off fifth in that 009 machine. Greg Birch, great qualifying run here from Greg, qualifying sixth tonight. So just outside that first five, but great speed there from the 51. What a good qualifying effort there from Birch. Maybe he'll be able to burst his way onto the scene tonight. Ollie Marston starting seventh, Jack McKee starting eighth. So there's a row filled with two rookies to keep an eye on as this one rolls along. Isaac Love in that 62 machine, saw him last night. We'll see him again tonight. And Michael Rinker will roll off 10th in the number 9. Back behind them in that familiar City Chevrolet 75 is Chad Jones, and the aforementioned Josh Cherritt-Hill, the guy who makes it all happen here at SCL competition, will roll off to his outside in 12th. Todd Russ in the 49 machine looking to continue his good fortune here in the last few weeks with Matt Mingo to his outside. Expect that 012 machine to be fast very early on. Matt tends to be aggressive here early in these races. Jason Crumley will start off 15th in the 80 machine, followed by our friendly Canadian Bruno Latour in the 71 machine. Back behind these two is 17th and 18th, that familiar bright neon yellow and blue of the Merkel Racing Engines machine, piloted no other, but goodness gracious, getting ahead of myself, piloted by no other than, there we go, Todd Merkel, the guy who makes it happen there for the number 2 machine. James Lindsay, a rookie in the 751, will start to his outside. Back behind them, you have the 833 machine of Ben Burgess, who's a rookie here in this contest, followed by Wesley Whitfield, who did not produce a time along with Burgess, and then Tom Stevens will start 21st if they choose to grid. Those last 3 drivers are based on iRating.
Well, there we go.
Yeah,
but I want to say I definitely agree with what you were saying about Justin Lewis sitting in that sweet spot just inside, in row 2. So it's not a bad spot to be at.
Yeah, you feel like you didn't get ripped off, or you didn't earn something you didn't really earn. So the caution, the pace laps around this place has now been extended. It's now 3 laps to green, for anybody wondering. SCL loves to do this. I think now it's just for us in the broadcast booth to just get confused, but they do a good job trying to get the field in all the right order before we go green.
Yeah, definitely. Adam Lowe brings home the pole position here after qualifying 5th. Gets that inverted and will start right up front there. Josh Flynn, a rookie, to his outside, so he's got to feel pretty good about where he'll start. But behind them you have Lewis and Call, and then Murphy. So those guys are no slouches, and they will be looking to get going pretty quick here. We are set for 60 laps around this little less than 3/4 mile oval.
Yeah, we're getting set up and ready to go. I think there's... See, I've already lost count, Mike. I'm already doomed. I think this is the last pace lap, but if I'm wrong, then so be it. So
looks like
I do
it
think
is.
this is... Yeah, I think this is... Yeah, we cheated a little bit, right? We used our overlay. It counts for us. So, yeah, we're getting set up, ready to go. Restart's a big deal here. It's a flat racetrack. You don't want to spin those tires, or you're going to jam up a lot of the cars behind you.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to get up to pace speed, which is about 50, give or take, and they're going to try and keep this field as bunched as possible. Initial restart is going to be on the flagman. After that, it'll be on whoever is in P1 there. So they come through for Adam Lowe. Will get on the loud pedal, and we are racing here at IRP.
a bit of a boop there between Austin Call and the 23 machine of Josh Flynn. Everybody sorts it out. They all look okay. Look at these cars fan out here coming out of turn 2, barreling down the backstretch. Adam Lowe wants to lead the first lap, but so does Justin Lewis.
Justin Lewis is looking to take care of business early here after having a pretty good series so far with what we've seen lately. Didn't start off that way though.
A little bit of contact there in the middle of 1 and 2. They're still side by side. There's more contact further on back though. There were 3 wide back here. It was Greg Birch. I can't believe they all saved it.
Greg Birch and looks like Josh Flynn just got shuffled out of it. He's cleared back into 12th, going back further, 13th now, as he got pushed 3 wide and is just hanging out on the high side, not really where he wants to be. He's kind of trying to keep that car just off of the wall as he is now going to hit to pit lane.
Yeah, I think there might be something wrong with that 23 machine back up front. We're taking a look at Justin Lewis and Adam Lowe now. It looks like everybody's sorted out, found their own line to drive. They're not so fanned out here, but they are catching lap traffic here very early on. And it looks like this is the 80 machine, I believe, of Jason Crumley. I could be wrong. It is.
Yeah, it is. It looks like Wesley Whitfield and Tom Stevens didn't elect to start. They threw down in practice and said this was not for me and packed it up. But this 80 machine has got to get going, as it looks like Jack McKee's into the inside wall backwards now. We'll see if he can get going here in that 0.28. Gonna be tight.
He's gonna get it going. Yikes!
It's gonna be tight here.
And here comes the field. I think something similar must have happened to Jason Crumley here in the 80, maybe off the original start. He does have some rear end damage to that machine, but certainly not the start of the race he was looking for.
No, Crumley, McKee, Flynn all not having the start they wanted. And looking back here, the 0.28 is passing Todd Merkel. I don't know what happened to Todd there, but he is definitely off the pace right now.
Yeah, you really have to be aware of your surroundings, though, here at IRP, mainly because this track is so small. Any small amount of misfortune could put you in danger of being a lap down, and if you're stuck a lap down here at this place, it's very hard to make up ground. Look at Michael Rinker on the outside there in that 9 machine. He was wheeling it.
Michael Ringer trying to get around with the 883 and the 80 coming back through the field. The 80 was not in a spot that was very conducive for Burgess to try and pass Rinker there, and Rinker kind of noted and just kept him pinned down on that inside.
He's still doing it. He's doing a good job here. This is a battle for the 8th position. Rinker has it, and a number of these drivers back behind him won it.
Yeah, they are still battling, but I mean, even up front, you have Justin Lewis, Adam Lowe, Colin Murphy, all looking to throw down up here as they're working through lap 10.
Yeah, something else that needs to be mentioned, right, is that the tires you have on your race car is the tires that you have for the whole race. So just be aware, if your favorite driver isn't really pushing right now, it might be for a good reason. They might be saving for later on in the race to push through the field.
Yeah, it looks like Jason Crumley had enough as he jumped into pit lane there. Michael Rinker was battling up here for 8th, and now he has faded back to 11th. Looks like he probably got into that outside wall, as did the 12 or the 012 of Matt Mingo there as he was coming through the corner. We'll see if Chad Jones is able to take advantage, because once you hit that wall, you kind of slow down just enough. These guys were going to try and take advantage, but doesn't look like Chad's going to be able to at the moment.
Handling on these machines is paramount, so if you hit the wall at all, it just seems to really disrupt your ability to turn through the corner and then get a good run off. You can see the 12 is all kinds of sideways, definitely driving an angry car right now.
Yeah, that 75's closing in pretty quickly, but just not enough to get through. As I'm looking through here, you have that 883 making the pass there on Greg Birch, and he actually ran the fastest lap of the race with a 22:68. So he definitely found some speed in that machine. But it's also, like you said, you know, what are you doing with your tires?
Well, he used up Greg a little bit going down the backstretch. They were really leaning on one another. That 880 or 833 machine rather is fairly quick. So take a look for him to continue to climb up through the field. And there's the 75. He got around the 02 or 012.
And the 9's looking to try and do the same. Michael Rinker, it wants to get back up to where he was, but looks like he's kind of stuck in that high line as the 012 is pretty much keeping him out there in the corners.
Yeah, these drivers are doing a really good job at making sure they can be competitive and still manage their stuff. So we have some great racing throughout the field right now. It's just a matter of who's able to be aggressive and toe the line of being aggressive and saving your stuff. As you can see, Todd Merkel is about to get lapped here by our leaders.
Yeah, that's not something we usually see with Todd here, but I mean, usually he's hanging around at the end, especially of these races. Seems like he's able to maybe save a little bit more tires than some of these guys. He's not pushing his equipment. You know, that slow and steady wins the race type of drive is what I remember the last couple times I was here.
Yeah, Todd's definitely that kind of guy, but it's he's also and this is something I'll pull out of my hat and kind of show the world what kind of racing fan I am. So I grew up a big Mark Martin fan, and one of my pet peeves with Mark is that he was a bottom feeder, like through and through. We'd go to tracks like Michigan where it would demand you to kind of search for a lane. Even towards the end of his career, Mark was not that person. He would always drive the bottom line, even if it was slower. And I think that's what Todd's going through right now. I see that 2-car all the time, just driving what is known as the preferred line, right? High arc into the corner, roll the center of the corner. And yeah, you're saving your tires by doing that, but you're losing so much time by electing to drive the bottom.
Yeah. And now he's a lap down, and he won't even be, I'll say, the lucky dog, because you have the 028, and pretty soon looks like Bossman's going to go a lap down as well.
Well, I know Josh Jarrett Hill is a bit of a hard pass, so we'll have to see how Justin
Whoa,
Lewis...
the 028 goes off the nose, and around he goes, and that's going to bring out the caution. And lucky for Todd and Josh, they both wind up staying on the, or get Todd getting back on the lead lap, Josh staying on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's a huge deal for those drivers right there. Let's see what happened here on the replay. Looks like there's a gap there, and it's gonna slide up, and everything's good. Look at Adam Lowe trying to get a run here. Everything's okay.
Just taps him.
Yeah, I think it's Lowe trying to be a little aggressive, perhaps with the side draft, or it might even be. I know the 58 moved up a little bit. You can see the 028. He's on his line. He's above the seam there. Great judgment call for these drivers to stay in your own lane. You have a seam right here. This is a great view of it. Above the seam. Yeah, Adam just comes up just the slightest amount.
Just off the nose there.
And he was the lucky dog, Mike.
Ooh,
take a look at this.
Did you just see Todd? Let's rewind this here just a little bit, just because. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go to. Let's see. We'll go to find it here. We'll go to the cockpit. So here's Todd, and here's the 28.
Wow.
Sliding just up. Oh, I answered my own question. Remember the question I asked you before we started the broadcast? Caution laps.
Oh yeah, I knew the answer to that. My mind was elsewhere. But
so
yes. So caution laps do not count towards the end of this race. Doesn't necessarily mean our timing and scoring is going to reflect that, because it doesn't exactly play nice with that. But for our viewers at home, it will reset itself if it does go a little awry. But if let me just see info. I don't want to be spitting all this info and then it not to be true. But in this competition, no tire changing during the race. Taking a look. I don't see where it says on info, but in there it goes. It goes back to 22. So here I am trying to talk myself out of what I already know. Caution laps do not count towards the end of this event. It has to be 60 green flag laps.
Yep. And this is where iRacing, or our timing and scoring, just starts flipping out, as you can see on screen. But we'll get it. It'll get stacked back up and ready to go as Justin Lewis and Colin Murphy are going to start on row 1. Austin Call, Isaac Love, row 2. Ben Burgess and Ollie Marston in row 3. Greg Birch and Chad Jones, row 4. Matt Mingo and Michael Rinker in row 5. Pace car is in. Justin Lewis has the field under his control. 50 miles an hour as they come through 4. Headed to that Geico restart zone. Inside lanes nice and tight. Restart zone, and we are down and away. Justin Lewis gets a pretty good start there. Slides up in front of Colin Murphy, and 1-2 through the corner. Side by side behind them is Isaac Love and Austin Call.
Yeah, look at the battle here. We're going to have to... Oh, the 012 is going to save it after getting bumped coming out of 2. What a save here for Matt Mingo coming out of turn 2. I was just about to say we have to take a look for that 58 machine. Watch him as he carves his way up through the field. We have one in the fence.
062,
That's
Isaac Love.
He did a good job keeping it up in the fence. One of the harder decisions you have to make as a driver, to say, am I willing to take the risk and try to drive it out and wreck the field, or do I just keep it up here and spare everybody? Isaac did a good thing there.
Yeah, Isaac went from battling up here in 3rd and 4th to the back of the lead lap as they are side by side. Bumping and banging is the 883 and 35. Or
I tell you what,
18.
Mike, I'm a bit surprised by how much beating and banging this field has on each other, and they're able to get away with it. So good for us here in the booth and good for our viewers watching, but I'm surprised these cars are able to take this much beating and banging.
It looks like most of them are pretty well, almost full car side by side when they hit each other, versus some of them, that you just get hooked just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a entertaining here at IRP for sure. Lots of good battles all throughout the field. Being able to take a look and highlight some different competitors perhaps than what we're used to. A battle like right here, we have Ollie Marston, a rookie in the 35. He's got a great run going for him right now. He's 5th, followed by that 75 machine of Chad Jones.
And these guys are pretty much battling all over the track. I mean, I love calling these races because you never know really what you're going to see. You're going to get lots of action with this SCL league, no matter what vehicle they're driving. I mean, we saw it last night, in the Cup Series. We see it tonight here, and I'm sure we're going to see it next week when all 3 of their series heads to North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, it's going to be a very entertaining week for me next week, that's for certain. So I'm excited to take a look at all those tracks and or all those cars rather, at the same track and see how the racing is different from each series.
Adam Lowe got sent to the back there and is trying to work his way back up. Josh Tarhill was basically at the tail end of this lead lap, and he is now up to 10th position right now.
Yeah, good little bounce back. And we talked about there at that caution how big of a deal it was for Josh Tarhill to get that yellow. He didn't go a lap down. He's able to sort of reset and regroup, doing a really nice job here in 10th.
Definitely. And as we were talking about it, Todd Merkel back here, he's just kind of cruising around, not really using his tires up or anything, and he's already up 3 positions, sitting P14 right now. And he's just kind of minding his time, trying to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, typical Todd Merkel kind of day, and just letting the race come to him. Take a look here at a battle for 12th. Matt Mingo and Todd Russ going at it right in front of the aforementioned Todd Merkel. These two drivers, a lot of pride here between these two racers. They both want a nice solid top 10 day. They're both just outside the top 10.
They're battling hard and heavy almost through every corner, every straightaway right now, as they both run almost similar lines. You can see the way they turn the corners are pretty close to the same.
Yeah, you're just trying to figure out where the guy in front of you is weak, and then try to pounce on that advantage. I know that's what's going through Russ's mind at the moment. If I can mirror the 012 and wait for a slip up, then that's probably the best opportunity to make that pass. Back up front, there's a reason why we haven't been up here lately. It's because that 009 machine of Colin Murphy, he was back towards where Austin Call was, a few car lengths back, not really threatening for the lead, but in the last few laps he's been putting a lot of pressure here on Justin Lewis.
Yeah, ran almost 2/10 faster that last lap, so we'll see how this shapes up here. Colin Murphy is one of the drivers that has won before. I mean, we have Barrett Flo that has a win, Isaac Love has a win, Colin Murphy has a win, Michael Rinkner has a win, Todd Merkel has a win, and it looks like Caleb Ouellette has a win too.
So Justin Lewis hasn't won here.
No.
Okay. Well, this is the series where he's trying to get that first win. I remember there were a multitude of incidences in this particular discipline of SCL competition where Lewis has had some pretty dire bad luck. He's run out of gas. He's just not closed the deal. And he talked about with us last night, the Cup side of things, you dominate a race, you hope you win it. Can we get another repeat performance here tonight? He's been the one out front, but a lot of pressure from behind right now.
Yeah, looking at his stats here on their webpage here, his average start position's 5th, his average finish is 3rd, and he's 4th in points right now.
Wow, that is crazy.
I mean, he's 6 out, but still. I mean, then you have.
I wish, I wish a 3rd place was a bad day for me. It's just, I feel like that's been Justin Lewis's season where he finishes 2nd or 3rd and he's bummed.
Well, yeah, but he does come out and he dominates some of these races. I mean, I think one of the first ones I saw, he was running away like this, maybe even a little further, and he literally ran out of gas down the backstretch.
Yep. It's been a long road to toe for sure. Great battle here up front though, and also behind this group as well. They were duking it out for 3rd for a little while, and again, a lot of great battles here at IRP. With 19 laps to go, Mike, we're flying towards the end.
Yeah, these guys are doing an amazing job here. We got some rookies battling here for 4th and 5th. Ben Burgess, Ollie Marston, Chad Jones not too far behind him. Michael Rinker back there in 7th, and
oh no!
Don't say it.
I want to. They were doing so good, Mike. They were so good, and then you talked about them.
Yes, I did. It was all my fault.
Oh no! Such a good run between a couple rookies, Ben Burgess and Ollie Marston here. Take a look at how it happened. Mike, do you care to explain?
Well, it's not hard to see what happened here. You can see. Let's stop it here and go to a different camera. We'll go to the.
So right about here is when Mike started talking about them.
Yeah, about how good they were, and the 883 clips the wall and then slides down in front of the 35 there, and that pretty much spells doom for everybody behind them because they were racing so close. 883 tries to save it. Probably could have if there was nobody behind him. But the 75 of Chad Jones gets into him. Greg Birch looks like he barely gets through with maybe a tap. Josh Charrett Hill able to check up. And it looks like the 71 kind of hits the 75 again. And look at who's coming on the high side, just kind of slowing her down there, Adam Lowe.
Yeah, Adam did a really good job at checking up there. Some would feel the pressure to really fly up through there. But, yeah, Adam was very astute to being on the brakes there.
So the 883 hits the wall, bounces down, and just goes in front of the 35 there. That causes everybody to have to check up and have some damage. The 883 and the 75 both are 14th and 15th right now. Todd Merkel now up to 12th.
I think I think you have some apologizing to do at the end of this race, Mike. It's starting to become a habit.
I know, it's that whole broadcaster thing. Don't talk about nobody. Nobody. Don't say how good they're doing. No.
Yes. But just be aware. Everybody out there in YouTube land, that was Mike Damoni on the call. So not Zach Woods, but it was Mike. So
it's okay. I got a long night ahead of me.
Yes, you're pulling double duty tonight, correct?
Correct.
And where will you be after this broadcast?
I will head over to Western States Racing League. And they are at Chicagoland.
Of course, Western States Racing League will take place on the other side of the country for our East Coast friends. So if you are like me or like Mike, yeah, you're on the East Coast, right?
Nope. I'm Mountain Time.
Well, never mind. It is a truly late night. So anyway, side by side, we have Colin Murphy and Justin Lewis. It'll be Lewis who's on the control here. Good restart there by the 009. Is he going to have anything to say about this ending? We saw some pressure mid-run last time around. He's got to make quick work here if he wants that clean air.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull down to the inside, and it looks like he was looking to do it and just decided not to for a moment. He's still hanging tough right there on that bumper, but behind them,
yellow.
Caution is out. Looks like Ollie Marston and Austin Call were almost getting into it as well there.
Oh, we'll have to see the reason for the caution.
I'm going to say it's Bruno.
Duking it. Yeah, they were duking it out back here pretty good. Three wide here. And hard to tell from this angle. Well, there we go.
I'll switch it. Make it a little better.
Well, nothing amiss right now.
I'm not
see Boss man scraped the wall there going into 3 and 4.
71 sliding up. Mingo gets into the back of him, sends him down into the inside.
Yeah, the slightest bit of contact there, if there was truly contact there. I know the 71 was moving up, but it was just very slight contact.
So we made it a couple more laps.
Well, that's normally how the ends of these things go, right? You want to be really aggressive. We were blessed to have a very, very long green flag run. And now all these drivers are just trying to get everything they can.
So no penalties there from race control.
So taking a look through your top 5 right now, you have Justin Lewis, who's been the guy on the loud pedal the most throughout the day. He's been leading nearly all the laps, if not all the laps from the 07 machine. I know he was fighting for that lead very early on, starting from the 3rd position. And then right behind him, we have the 009 machine. That is Colin Murphy, who is having a really good run today. And sitting back here in 3rd is Ollie Marston. He was involved in that incident a couple laps ago, but not at fault for the incident, so he carries on. Great run for him. He's been inside the top 5 nearly the whole day. Great effort there by the rookie, because he's racing around guys like Austin Call, who we know is fast every week. And then back behind them is Greg Birch. I said it in the rundown. I was very impressed with this qualifying run, and here he is in 5th. He's beaten and battered, but with 17 to go, it'll probably be 18 to go when we get the green. He's sitting in 5th. Really good run.
Yeah, definitely. We have Michael Rinker back in 6th, Josh Terrett-Hill in 7th, Matt Mingo, Adam Lowe 8th and 9th, and then you have that 2 machine back in 10th. Justin Lewis is going to lead them to the green flag once again. We'll see if Colin Murphy is able to get any run on that outside lane. Here they come, headed to that Geico restart zone. Down and away. It looks like Colin Murphy stays right with him. Not fading too far back there.
A little bit of back and forth between the front two. I don't think he got as good of a restart as he did the last go round, but no worse for the wear as the first half dozen or so are single file.
Yeah, they single filed pretty quickly here. But I don't think it's going to last too long as Adam Lowe goes to the inside of Merkel. 3 wide almost. Merkel to his outside. Terrett Hill there as well. Ooh. Merkel gets loose into that outside wall. Adam Lowe's going to try and make the pass now.
Side by side, really hard battling here between a couple drivers who are looking to solidify some good runs for a top 10 spot. Look at them just leaning on one another. Oh no! There it is. The 012 getting into Greg Birch. You have the 75 spinning out independently of this caution. We saw it live. Let's take a closer look.
On one another, just beating and banging. That 51 gets a little bit of a run there. It's about half a car length in front. Terrett Hill just turns down and goes, nope, I'm staying out of this. The 028 taps the 75, spins him around, taps him again. 71
Bruno Latour
barely sneaks through a little bit there, but that's going to bring out the caution once again as Justin Lewis ran the fastest lap of the race with a 22.52. Colin Murphy not to be outdone when a 22.53.
Oh yeah, they were they were single file on each other's heels for the first probably half dozen or so. But yeah, all the action was happening just inside and just outside the top 10. So we're creeping towards the end here, Mike.
15 laps. Yeah. We were doing good until we complimented him, Zach.
Till you complimented them. You. I will not shoulder this burden with you, Mike. So something we must do alone. But we're looking to get ready to go here. It's going to be 15 laps to go between now and the finish. And I know some of these drivers are getting more and more anxious. There's a lot to be said winning here at IRP. It's a very prestigious short track. A lot of bragging rights here. Greg Birch was given the EOL penalty for that last incident, so anybody rooting for the 51, now you know why he's in the back.
Yeah, the 51 back there. Looks like the 883 parked it. Isaac Love parked it. Josh Flynn parked it.
Man, I'm just really impressed with the number of these drivers. We've had the opportunity to cover this series for quite some time. I mean, Ollie Marston's been electric here in the top 5 nearly all race long, but then further on back, you got guys like Michael Rinker, Josh Jarrett Hill, a couple of racers who you would expect to have decent days, but now they're starting in row 3. They got the chance to maybe sneak a victory here, and right behind them, we've been talking about them all night long. Todd Merkel in the 2 car. Just really impressive runs from these drivers.
And some of these guys were down a couple laps. You had Jack McKee, a rookie that was down at least a lap there, and he's back on the lead lap, currently in, we'll call it 7th after timing and scoring catches up.
Lights are out though, so we're going to get back green here. It's going to be the 07 of Justin Lewis, coming off of some blistering laps not too long ago. Can he continue to fend off a hard charging Colin Murphy to his outside? Lewis has been really good on restarts, but so has Murphy. What are they going to do here on the jump? That's about as good as we've seen from the 009. Let's see how it translates into some racing here down the backstretch.
And the 07 was playing a little bit of games. The 009 had to check up there a little bit, so didn't quite get the restart he wanted, but didn't slow down enough for it to matter. Inside he goes, and he's going to kind of give him a little, not a bump, but just enough to tell him, hey, I'm still here on your inside. Colin Murphy is not going away anytime soon.
Meanwhile, Austin Call sitting back there in 3rd. Probably just content to watch this battle play out, because these two drivers are not afraid to lean on one another here. Opposite ends of the racetrack. Will Lewis get the run on the high line he's expecting? They're going to make a little bit of contact, but Lewis is going to edge him out here at the line.
At 12 laps to go, and they're still side by side, still bumping on each other as Murphy gets a little bit more ground. And here they come down the backstretch. Murphy has about a little bit of a nose in front, but Lewis is not going away. Austin Call's just hanging back there hoping something happens to these two up front.
It seems like the 009 is better on this end of the racetrack versus Justin Lewis, and then Lewis is better in 3 and 4. And of course, that's where the money's made. So these two drivers are going to make contact down here on the opposite end. Let's see what's going to happen.
Sliding up almost into each other once again. Justin Lewis gets the run coming to the start-finish line, but Colin Murphy does not go away. It's a little bit better run, and side by side they go again, beating, banging. They both stay straight, and down the backstretch they go.
They're trying their best to stay off of each other, but at this racetrack, it's just so hard to be able to race side by side for so long without hitting each other. I thought Murphy was going to go up to that high line and try something new. Couldn't get it done on the low line. Maybe on this end of the racetrack, going high will be the ticket.
Yeah, it almost looks like they want to go high and low because of the way it works. You know, because you see Colin Murphy better on 1 and 2 and Justin Lewis better on 3 and 4. They're running just slightly different lines, and that high line seems to be carrying him to the start finish line. And Colin Murphy is still right there on his back bumpers. If Justin Lewis makes any bit of a mistake, Colin Murphy is right there to take advantage.
It's hard to tell if Justin Lewis is looking more out of his rear, his windshield right now. He's got to hit all of his marks, but he's got to drive defensively, trying to anticipate what line Murphy's going to take. Murphy's now going to take the fight back to Lewis, now on his inside here, coming out of turn 2.
He got up next to him, and Justin Lewis was able to pull away once again. But Colin Murphy is not going away. He is matching him move for move right now, hanging out right on his rear bumper. Justin Lewis definitely knows he's there. And if anything, even a little slip up, Colin Murphy is going to take advantage as he tries to put all the pressure he can on Justin Lewis, make Justin Lewis make a mistake with 5 to go as soon as they come by the start-finish line.
What racing we are seeing now at IRP. Two heavyweights going at one another here tonight. Two of the most dominant cars of the field now have a chance to duke it out with 5 laps to go. Nose to tail they are, coming out of turn 2.
Down the backstretch, Colin Murphy's hanging right with him. It's almost like they're one car the way they're moving together. Colin Murphy down to the inside, going to try and get a run. Looks like he might be trying to set him up for later in the race, but he is going to try and take advantage now. Side by side, almost touching again. The 009 and the 07 battling tough. Colin Murphy gets a little better run coming out of 2 that time into 3 and 4. We'll see who's there at the finish line.
The 07's been better on this end of the racetrack. They make contact. Murphy's tried to set it up a lap before. They're going to beat and bang once again. 3 laps to go here at IRP. Nobody's given an inch here for the fight for the win.
They are not going anywhere. Justin Lewis battling back on that high side, gets right up into the wall and is going to try and stay with the 009. Side by side they go. 2 cars mirroring each other move for move. Justin Lewis is going to barely get the nose across the finish line first time that time by.
What a race we are seeing now. These drivers are not giving up. It's all or nothing right now between Colin Murphy and Justin Lewis. We've seen Lewis better on this end of the racetrack. What can Murphy do to make sure he's first across the line?
That time there, it looked like Murphy might have had it. It's going to be close as Murphy bumps Lewis into the outside wall. But Lewis is not going away. He is battling back tough here. We'll see if he puts the bumper to him as they come through 3 and 4.
Fighting back on the outside lane is Justin Lewis. Can he mount a run coming out of turn 4? It's going to be Colin Murphy ripping the victory away from Justin Lewis in a thriller here at IRP. What a race! Those last 10 laps were unbelievable racing.
Side by side they go. Just not enough there. Let's go back and watch this white flag lap here.
Yeah, and he started to make progress on him with 2 to go, and here they get into each other just a little bit, but it's nothing more than what had happened before. And that right there, the little shunt going into turn 3, I thought it was over there, but Lewis does a good job trying to fight back.
Yeah, they're battling back, hard fighting side by side, doing everything they can. I mean, this is some good racing. I mean, Justin Lewis has nothing to, hang his head about as he was able to bring home P2. But like he said, dominating a lot of the race and just comes up just a little bit short, but heck of a run by those 2.
Unbelievable racing. What a treat being able to be up here and commentate. Man, Mike, last night we had 3 wide at the line for the win, and then we had we've been really spoiled up here.
Yeah, this is definitely something And we didn't even talk about one of the awards we were supposed to give out because there was so much good racing happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I think the under pressure washing tough luck award, though, should go to Josh Flynn, a rookie here in this division of SCL competition. He rolled off the grid second tonight in that 23 machine, and we really only saw him at the beginning of the race free falling through the field. Not quite sure what happened to Josh Flynn there, but that would be my pick.
I think we can go with that. I mean, he had a good run and just wound up looks like he got bumped around a little bit and just kind of put it away there, but I think he can win that under pressure washing services tough luck award. So let's get to the main attraction here, if we can get this to work. Get Austin Call up here.
All right, I can do that. Austin, you're with Zach Woods and Mike Damoni in the booth.
Yep.
I mean, we got to be honest. We were glued to the front two for the last.
I don't blame you. I was too.
That was crazy racing we saw. But tell the fans out there in YouTube land about your night tonight, finishing third.
Just defending against Ollie. I was kind of just watching Justin and Colin go at it the entire time, just trying to run smooth, not killing my tires as much as they were. I noticed I was a bit off the pace in that first run, at least for what I felt, and but I got up to third, felt pretty good. Caution comes out, unfortunately, and Ollie gets around me, and I thought that was it. But I managed to get back alongside him, get past him, and I was holding third from there. It felt pretty nice.
Well, you had a really strong ride here at IRP. What about this track do you enjoy? Or I mean, I seem to always ask this question and then I always get told, well, I hate this racetrack. So first of all, do you enjoy this racetrack? And if you do, what about it is popular for you?
I just I don't exactly like this race. It's less this racetrack and more this car. I hate this car. Yeah. This racetrack, I like that you can run different lanes. Like qualifying, you're running pretty much as close to that bottom lane as possible in the race to save tire, running a bit higher. And I just like that you can run all over the place. That's why I always like running here. I mean, I think I got my second SCL win ever here. So, I mean, I do like this racetrack. I just don't like this car.
Well, the combo suited you well tonight. You managed a third place finish. Do you have any thank you, sponsors, or shout outs you want to give for tonight's effort?
I'd like to thank obviously my teammates, obviously Justin Lewis and Todd Merkel are always there, but also today we had Matt Mingo, which was fun. And then I gotta thank my family for letting me do this. I know my brother had signed he wanted to do at 8, but I didn't think he was gonna be back before 8, so I just decided to do this because I was bored. But obviously I thank them, they let me do this, and then I gotta thank my grandma. She watches all the races I run, or at least most of them that she can get to. So obviously I thank her every race.
All right. Well, I'm sure they're all happy for you. Finished tonight at a pretty challenging racetrack. You go and enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, he went from not racing at all to now coming back, and I mean, he hasn't missed a beat. He's been pretty sporty in the last two events we've seen him in, Mike. So I think we might be talking to Austin Call a little bit more here as the season wears on. But in the meantime, we're now going to bring up our second place finisher, Justin Lewis. It's Zach Woods and Mike Damoni up in the booth.
I got you. Sorry, people. Every time you talk, for some reason, every time I get pulled up here, someone's damn race chat.
All right, Mike, I'll leave you to it.
Hey, Justin, man. It's a little tough there coming in second once again, but you had a heck of a battle there with Colin Murphy. How is it going?
Back to being a bridesmaid, I guess, right? So we had I thought I had it in the bag, and I knew if I stayed up top, it'd be close to holding Colin off. But I'll be honest, this is probably the happiest I've ever been to finish second, because that was way more fun than I thought it would be, especially with how IRP races. Usually you don't get side by side very often. You kind of get freight train if you go to the bottom, but I don't know how. I think he had a little better tire than me, but I don't know how he did it. But besides the little door tap into one, that was the best two wide side by side racing I've ever had at a short track. So congrats to him. He beat me fair and square. Like, that door tap was fair. I think he just pushed, like, I was tight too, but obviously I was up top, so I didn't have that problem. But I think he just got a little tight and got me. But then I kind of wall banged it off and almost like tapping a dirt cushion and shot off the corner again. So I was like, we might be okay. And then he edged us out. But yeah, my right front was gone with about 15 to go. So I was really sweating it. Like, I don't know if this is going to last. And then all of a sudden, here I am clicking off the quickest laps of the race. So it's like, we may have something here. And then he stepped it up too. So I was like, this is going to be intense. And I hope that was a good broadcast for you guys.
Definitely. I mean, that last 10
yes.
laps was freaking amazing. I don't know what in the world, was going on there, but you guys beat and banging. You had several restarts. You were trying to, figure out what way to go, but I don't know that I've seen that close of racing, that much side-by-side action in quite a while here.
Yeah, I was about to, thank God my Discord chat was actually quiet at that moment, because if they were going to be talking, I was literally going to have to tell them to shut up, because I was trying to concentrate so hard to stay with him. Once he got underneath me. But yeah, like I said, that was awesome. Like, I'm honestly not even mad. Like, I feel like that was a win for both of us because of how clean, like, we were door tapping probably 2 or 3 times a lap, those last 11, 12 laps or whatever that was. So, I mean, I'm not even mad. I'm actually pretty happy about that one. So, yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, it definitely was. Well, you still don't have a win here in this series, but you head from IRP, you'll head to North Wilkes. How are you feeling with the rest of the season here?
I've not ran this car at North Wilkesboro. Usually I'm kind of an car when it goes to North Wilkesboro and anything. But yeah, I feel like I should have won at least 5 of these dang races this year. I ran out of fuel once, I've been turned around once, and it's all coming off of turn 4 or the last lap. Like, it's been the worst luck as far as wins. And then I think if you look at my average finish, it's probably like 2nd or 3rd in this series too. So like, I'm leading every lap that doesn't matter. So it's getting annoying. But like I said, that one, like, I can take a loss on this one tonight with how cool that was. Like, like I said, that's been one of probably my lifelong sim racing career on here, which is only 4 or 5 years probably total. Like, this was not matched. Like, this battle right here was the best battle I've ever had. So very excited to go race again in these cars. I hope we keep this car for next season. And then hopefully I can click off more wins and actually feel better about myself and running second all the dang time.
Well, definitely. Well, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank for your P2 finish here tonight?
Adam, holy crap. Yeah, Adam and Josh for the league, of course. I mean, they make this possible for everybody to get on and do this and just have a good time. You guys up in the booth for always doing a good job. Colin for probably, like I said, the cleanest race and funnest race I've ever had for a win. And then Adam, Todd, Matt Mingo in the chat tonight. They needed to be quiet when they needed to be quiet, and thank God it helped. I can at least give them a shot to win. So, yeah, I just can't thank those guys enough. But you guys... I'm way more excited to watch a second place finish than I was this morning watching me win. So yeah, this is going to be a cool one to watch back.
Definitely. Well, congrats again on your P2 finish, and we will maybe talk to you at North Wilkes.
I hope so. We'll see if I can win that one.
All right. Well, we are now going to be greeted up here in the SRM victory lane with our winner, Colin Murphy. It's Zach Woods and Mike Damoni up in the booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got ya.
What a crazy last 10 laps. It was a thrill to call from here in the booth. Justin Lewis just got done saying, you know what, that's the most fun he's ever had racing for. What's going through your mind in the last 10 laps, duking it out with him?
Just making sure I stay off of him. I want to be as clean as possible. I don't want to run a race by junking him. So my goal is trying to keep it off of him as best as I could. So
Well, y'all did a good job. We talked about all night long how these drivers were really physical with one another. There was a lot of beating and banging throughout the field. You could really get away with it. And we could tell up here in the booth that you two were trying to do a good job of taking care of each other and making sure you were going to race as clean as possible. What about IRP suits your driving style? Because you were quick. I mean, you were hounding Justin Lewis for a long time and then eventually took the fight to him. What about this racetrack suits you?
I'm not sure, but I just saved my tires there until the last 20. So I think that kind of helped me there at the end. So yeah, it was a good race with Justin. So a lot of fun.
Mike, do you have any comments you want to give to our race winner?
No, man, that was some. That's probably the best racing I've seen in a while. You guys side by side, beating, banging, but not really turning each other or doing anything dirty. I mean, that's what racing should be, and you guys definitely put on a heck of a show right now.
Well, I want to give it up to you, Colin. Do you have any thank you, sponsors, or shout outs that make it happen for the 009 machine here tonight at RP?
Yeah, Apex Industries. They've helped me a lot on the dirt side, so them all them over there, and then all my real life sponsors and my mom and dad.
All right, Colin, you put on a great show. I hope you go back and watch this broadcast. It was a blast for us in the booth to bring it to life. But go and enjoy this P1 finish, man. You earned it.
Yeah, I'll should definitely enjoy it. So.
All right, Mike. Well, let's take a look here at your finishing results here from IRP. Got a number of great stories inside the top 10. I felt bad talking to Austin Call because we were so sold on that terrific battle there towards the end between your first and second place finishers, Colin Murphy and Justin Lewis. Austin Call will, of course, bring it home third tonight. Ollie Marston caps off a really nice drive with a fourth place finish with Josh Hill. Can you believe that? He caught that early caution, didn't go a lap down. He's going to finish fifth tonight. Jack McKee is going to finish sixth with Michael Rinker in seventh. You have Bruno Latour. I can't believe I'm saying that. Bruno Latour finished eighth. that our friendly Canadian in that 71 machine. Man, he was. I felt like Bruno was experiencing a lot of bad luck there towards the end, and he goes in with a top 10. Good for him. Adam Lowe's going to climb back to finish ninth. Chad Jones, and there's another one. Chad Jones is going to finish 10th with Greg Birch bringing it home 11th. Todd Merkel will finish 12th for tonight's event. 13th will go to Todd Russ in the 49 machine. The 751 machine of James Lindsay, rookie, will finish 14th. And the last car on the lead lap will be Matt Mingo in the 012. Isaac Love will finish 32 laps down in the 62 machine. 54 laps down will be Jason Crumley in the 80. 57 laps down will be the aforementioned Josh Flynn. He's your under pressure washing tough luck award, and after he had a outside the front row qualifying effort for tonight's event. Then you have Ben Burgess, Wesley Whitfield, and Tom Stevens rounding out your field tonight. Mike, this one was a treat.
Well, you walked in and you were hyped and you were ready to go, and this race did not disappoint, and I'm sure it did not bring you down from the high you had after today. Yeah, it was had a great day at work and came in here right before the session started, and I was telling Mike off camera, I was like, man, I'm pumped. I hope we get a great race, and I wasn't expecting that good of a race. It was so good. A great battling at the end. Yeah, they were all over the place I mean, if this would have been any other car or any other series, I would have been thinking, they're going to turn and it's going to be a long night and all that. But they stayed off of each other. They worked really well with that battle, and I mean, that's probably the best battle I've seen in quite a while here.
Yeah, it was a fantastic event. Definitely, definitely one worth tuning back into. I know Justin said he went, I'm excited to tune in for this P2 finish. I never tend to watch the shows I wind up broadcasting, but I might just turn the sound off and enjoy the racing again, because it was electric tonight at IRP. We hope you enjoyed what you have seen here on Sim Racing Media's coverage of SCL competition. If you can't get enough of Mike Damone, I encourage you to go and check out the Western States Racing League that SCL the SCL. I'm getting all my acronyms messed up. That Sim Racing Media, SRM, is going to cover here in just a little while. So we're going to let you go, Mike, and we're going to let our fans out there of SCL competition go for the evening. Cannot wait to bring more electric racing action to you here real soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Share it with your friends, because we love to do what we do here at SRM, broadcasting great, fantastic finishes like the one we just saw here from SCL. Y'all have a good night, everybody.